Now, here's a title I can absolutely relate to. There's something wrong with the children.
There's something
Damn right
wrong.
there is.
Yes.
So, okay. This is a film about two couples. One has kids, one does not. They are in some idyllic summer getaway, cabin up in the woods kind of, but nice, not Evil Dead.
No, like really nice.
Yeah, like a nice place. There's two places, across from one another, and uh, they are hanging out one night, or should say one day before we get to the night, and they go on a hike, all of them together, the kids, the parents, and the other couple. And when they get out there, they find this. It's like an abandoned. Wasn't it like a military installation, or he explained what it was, but I forget. It literally has no
No,
point
yeah.
to the plot at all, but
I don't remember.
it doesn't really
To be
matter.
honest.
It's like an abandoned structure.
Yes.
So they go inside and they look around, and there is this pit, and they all look into the pit. The adults seem to be unaffected. The kids seem to be greatly affected, and they keep asking to see the
The place that shines.
the place that shines. That's okay. And so, yeah, from there, one of the adults starts to see odd behavior in the kids. And, no one else believes them. And that's as much as I really need to say on the matter. Now, okay. As far as the film goes, this was something I knew very little about going in. I just knew the title, and that's it.
Yep.
So nothing, basically. And this stars, I forget his name, but he's in the Midnight Club, which
Yes.
we're watching right now. He's also in
Midnight
Midnight Mass. I swear I know his name. Then his wife in the movie is an actress I know from a show called Raising Dion, which I watched with my kids. And then the wife of the other, part of the other couple. I was like trying to figure it out while we were watching it.
Yeah.
And then I was finally like, oh my god, it's the chick from Final Destination 3, the younger
So
sister
crazy that you
of
got it.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Like,
I saw it in her
pulled
face.
it out of the ether.
Yeah,
Out of
that
her
movie's freaking old now. So she's 15, at least 15 years old.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was really, really into this film. We both were.
Yeah.
It was so engaging for us.
Yes.
I can definitely see some people kind of rolling their eyes at this movie here and there. But I was always just like so invested in the mystery, and was so like I just wanted to see what was going to happen next. And I was like engaged, and I was like talking to you and at the screen, like, oh hell no, and all this, the whole movie, but in a good way.
Yeah, it was honestly a very stressful movie. Like, I
Yeah.
felt really tense the whole time, but I was really into it too. I think the music, I just want to say I really loved the music.
Yeah, music
I
is
was
really
super into that.
Yeah.
And like, there's some cool cinematography too. There's this one shot that is like from a ceiling, like a weird angle from
bathroom,
up high.
yeah.
Really cool. The acting from everybody was really great. And it's just like we kept saying, it's such an impossible situation to be in.
Yeah.
Because like nobody, like, without giving any spoilers, but basically like no one will believe you, like,
No.
at all. And I liked it. I was just really into it.
Okay, I will say, I don't think the acting was all great all the time. I definitely think that it varies. And I do
That's
think there's
fair.
some really good stuff, and I think that there's some stuff that's like so-so, but I never cared. It's mostly the chick from Raising Dion, and the kids at times were forcing it a little much. But in the Raising Dion chick, she just had some emotional moments where I wasn't fully buying into it.
That's fair.
But for the most part, I thought she was good. I just thought she was a little uneven in places, but who gives a shit? I was super into the film. I was definitely fully engaged, fully involved the entire time. And yeah, this is one of those movies where, you know, I can definitely see people not being into it and thinking this is hokey or silly, especially towards the end. There's some like effects that go on with eyes that make it almost feel like some teen horror thing and
Sure.
stuff like that. I was never bothered by that stuff, even though I did kind of roll my eyes at those effects. I was like, was that necessary? Like, I don't really understand the point of it, and it kind of cheapens the moment. So that was unnecessary to me. But man, I just have to. As I said, it's all about the engagement, and that's where I was with the entire film. I was just like super invested in what was happening, the characters, especially the person who's seeing all of this, and just I kept kind of like going back and forth. I was like, they better believe him. And then I'm like, yeah, but why would they? Like, I guess they probably wouldn't. But I hope they do.
Right.
And it's like, but no, I know. And I'm like, they better believe him. I'm going to be mad at them. And then I'm like, but I totally understand why they wouldn't believe him, because that's fucking insane. Yeah. And then they introduce something else that makes it much more questionable.
Yes.
And then they introduce something else that makes it even more questionable. And it totally makes sense on why they believe it and why they don't believe it and that kind of stuff. And I just I don't know. I felt like the film always did a pretty good job of working within the realm of reality in an unrealistic situation where I was like, okay, yeah, people would probably react like this, or people probably wouldn't do this, or whatever. You know, there's so many times in movies where I'm watching them and I'm just like, oh man, like this person wouldn't do this. I mean, who am I to say what they would and wouldn't do? It just feels so unreal. Like people just keep their mouths shut for no reason and this and that. And in this film, I feel like everyone says what they need to, and people who don't believe them have good reason, right? So like I never really got frustrated. There was a couple decisions here and there, somebody does something stupid when they're scared, but people do shit stupid when they're scared. Nothing egregious.
No, I think, there's just like a couple things, and it's honestly mostly towards the end when it's kind of like peak everything is happening.
Sure, your brain's not even functioning at that point.
So that's fine.
Yeah.
But I think that, like you were saying, everybody else, like the reactions are believable for what an insane situation it would be. Like how they respond to things, that it totally made sense. There was a moment that I thought that the film was going to be more ambiguous. I think in like the middle, you're kind of like, oh, is it going to go like that? It doesn't, but I'm really fine with the ending. I was pretty satisfied with it. Yeah. We had a ton of fun. Like, engaging is the best word. Like, we were super engaged.
Yeah, it is a fun film. And another real good part of the film for me was that the two couples were very, very believably couples.
Yes. They had great chemistry. Yeah. There's one scene...
Well, one doesn't have great chemistry,
yes,
and that's the point.
Right. The chemistry is,
Their chemistry is off, and that's like why they're there and everything that's happening. And that, like, they had good chemistry in their bad chemistry.
Yes, exactly.
Right? Yeah.
And there's one scene out by a fire pit with one of the couples that I found to be so sweet and like so realistic, and it was just like really heartwarming. Like they did a good job with that. And the friendship too that's
Absolutely.
There. Both friendships.
Between the girls.
But between the girls especially.
They have a conversation about like their extracurricular activities, and this felt super genuine to me, and a story that like felt real and felt like something two friends would share, and the way they shared it and the way they reacted to each other and all of that felt super real. And the same thing with the couple without the kids. They just had a great chemistry. But things are put to the test.
For sure they are.
And I don't know. I feel like the reactions are mostly realistic and the responses to things. But yeah, if you're somebody who just wants like a fun like thriller mystery of like what the hell's going on, what's gonna happen, then this is a super super fun one. Yeah, I was super super into this.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Definitely a recommendation.
yeah,
For sure.
yeah. And we'll see what the consensus is. It's still brand new, and very few people have watched it or talked about it. But we got on it quick.
We did.
Yeah, and,
I'm happy we did too.
I'm looking forward to what you guys think when you watch it, and looking at reviews in the future to see if this movie gets any attention. I'm going to assume it's gonna hover somewhere around like a low 5, and it's just going to be kind of a middle of the road film for people. But I'm higher on it than that.
Yeah,
but I
me
just
too.
have a feeling, because I've seen films like this in the past that have a similar kind of flair to them, where there's just kind of like this mystery intrigue where there's kind of this evil presence lurking. It's kind of in a single location. It's a tad gimmicky, that kind of stuff, like a head count or something, where some people really enjoy it, but most people are kind of very blah or middle of the road. I guess those are the same things, So we'll see. But that's my guess watching this movie. But I disagree. I think it's much better than people are going to say it is.
Yeah, I definitely think it was much, much higher than a 5 for me.
Yeah. So let us know if you guys watch it, and we'll see if I'm right. Hopefully I'm not. Hopefully everyone loves it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let us know.